is Thomas, and I will be your DM for this evening. Um, I am currently running Waterdeep Dragonheist for those of you watching, and now I'm going to go ahead and kind of get the round robin of the table and start having everybody tell you who they are and where you can find them. So let's go with, I don't know, I don't have Twitch up, so I can't tell you. Let's start with Ryan Spitzer.
Okay, I guess I'll go next since he mentioned me. Wes. I play Misty, the chaotic evil Tabaxi rogue who
Hello.
causes a lot of problems, but has since been reined in because I was going to be sentenced to death. And now I have a parole officer who's been missing for a while, which I did not kill him.
Quite popular belief.
So my name is Jason, and I'm substituting in. I'm playing Leslie Mason, a very human life cleric of the Lawful Good Alignment, and I'll be doing the party from here on out. And I am Misty's new parole officer to try to keep her out of trouble and not end up being hanged again.
Guess I'll go next. Hello, hello, hello. I am your friendly neighborhood sorcerer, Olan Reese. I have been traveling with these wonderful people as soon as I saw them on the streets, because I just knew they would make my father angry. So I decided to hang out with them and stay with them as long as I possibly can and hang out with them in Troll Skull Manor. Uh, Hope y'all have a wonderful night. Get this going, y'all.
All right. So it seems like they're having a problem. Like people on Twitch
All right,
are having
we
a
got it.
problem. Oh, okay, cool. Um, so we find the party after taking possession of the Stone of Galore and finally making their way back to the tavern. We find our party having these horrific nightmares, being dropped off of a ledge, so to speak, and plunging their way into a messy slime pool. Feels like worms are wriggling around in their brain, and it feels like constant twists and turns that there's someone there, someone over their shoulder, and supposedly every neighbor in the entire 300 span district was experiencing these horrific experiences as well. So we find ourselves inside Troll's Skull Manor. A couple of patrons litter the tavern still. Some spending a little bit extra money after not being able to get a lot of rest. Your local barkeep, Liff, is actually pouring a couple of drinks for a couple of people sitting at the bar. Unfortunately, I don't have tokens, but if you're able to see the map, come on, look over here. Here we find the party resting in their beds, except for Misty. Misty, the tabaxi black-haired cat, who likes to be mysterious and go missing once in a while. For those of you, you haven't heard from Upton in what seems like 2 days, maybe even 3 days. Those of you concerned about Misty would know that Upton O'Goody was Misty's parole officer for the crimes that she had committed. Some believe that she attempted to murder. Some even claim that she did, in fact, murder a magical mage right, so to speak, of the City Watch. It's Mr. Blastwind. Mr. Blastwind was questioning Misty and was repetitively assaulted, some would say. At least that's what the report claims. That she stabbed him and shot him multiple times as she attempted to flee the scene of the crime. He would say in her defense, she probably felt threatened. I was asking her questions about her being associated with the Zentarum, and she being the only clear, evident individual after showing me her sigil, revealed herself to be one of those members. And unfortunately, some people have a fight or flight action. She seems to have the fight. The report would also state that he himself was brought to the Order of the Gauntlet for healing. Luckily enough, a couple of individuals were able to somewhat resuscitate him after being stabbed. And luckily enough, he was able to heal from his grievous wounds. Here you are walking up to the tavern, and this is going to be Jason. Your character would be approaching this large 3 to 4 story tavern with this massive trellis turret tower. Smoke is bellowing out of the fireplaces. The interior seems incredibly warmly lit. It is freezing outside. The snow is pouring down. You would almost swear that if you were to spit, it would freeze before before it hit the ground. And you're walking up to the front door, and Misty, what would you be doing at this moment? Would you be walking towards the tavern? Would you be in the tavern?
I would say if it's the morning time, I would just be climbing in my window to get back in my room.
Okay. So, all right. So, Misty, can I have you roll me a stealth check, or are you not stealthy at all?
Sure. I'll roll a stealth check.
Okay. Jason, could I get you to roll me a perception check, my friend?
Yeah.
What would Giacomo be doing at this moment, Ryan?
So
You there, Ryan?
Giacomo, yeah. Sorry about that. So Giacomo would wake up, obviously disturbed from the night before, and the first thing that I would do is leave my room in the attic, go out to the hallway where the stairwell is, and again I would do my normal routine, and I would knock on Misty's door, and so I would say, "Hello, hello, Misty, are you there? Good morning, Misty."
So I kind of.
Well,
Go ahead, keep going. Sorry.
well, I'm coming in. Please don't shoot me again. And I'll turn the handle to Misty's bedroom door and crack it open.
So as
just,
you're getting ready to
wide
go through
enough
the
to
door,
look in.
okay. What did
I rolled a dirty 20 on my stealth.
30-20
And I
and
rolled an 18.
an 18? Perfect. Okay, so you're like going up to the front door, Jason, and you're like the door's clearly unlocked and the doorknob's there. Would you walk in? Like, would you?
Yeah, it's
Or are you gonna like scope it out a little bit?
because it's an inn. I would open the door. You know, feel confident in opening the door and walking in.
So yeah, so you're walking in, and as you're walking in, Misty is like crawling up, opens the window, comes inside, and Misty, like you're basically like halfway in, halfway out of the window, and as you are, you're like seeing the door open, and you're hearing Giacomo talk, right? And he's like right at the door. Are you gonna say anything? Like, what would you do?
I'm not decent. Hold on a second.
Oh, excuse me! And I pull the door closed really quick and turn around with my back against the door and I clutch at my chest and I say, "Oh, that could have been mortally dangerous. Misty, I'm so sorry. I would never ever dream of opening your door again. I don't know what I was thinking this morning, in fact. Stupid Giacomo. Oh no. Well, how did you sleep last night?"
And so would Misty like be in the room at this moment? Like, would you have closed the door, Wes? Like, like the window?
Yeah, I would have shut the window and then
Yeah.
pretended like I was putting on my armor and
Okay,
all that stuff.
Okay. Carry on. I'm sorry.
So I would just say, you know, I slept great. I don't. Why do you ask?
Well, are you decent now? Can we talk face to face?
Yeah, come on in.
So I would cautiously push the door open and like nudge my head around the side. And once I kind of got out of the periphery vision that Misty was dressed, I would come into the room and close the door quietly behind me. And I'd say, "Well, I'm not so sure why I'm being quiet. Especially considering there's only about a couple of us here right now at the moment, I think, that stayed overnight. But anyway, I had the most terrible dreams. Of course I was able to sleep, but it definitely wasn't good sleep. This stone is nothing but trouble. I'm so conflicted. You know, that weird dwarf man, the investigator from the City Watch, and, well, Rainier Neverember, that fancy Nancy rich boy, he said that we needed the stone to find the treasure. Of course you know I want that more than anything, Misty. Other than maybe, I don't know. Well, I can't say that out loud." And I would reach over and like pat Misty on the shoulder and like brush her armor off. And then I would say, but I guess what I mean to say is, I suppose, when are we going to start looking for this treasure so we can get rid of the creepy stone?
I'm covered in snow, by the way.
One of our viewers said, "Roll a con save to see if you wet yourself for your dream." I'm down for that. Let me see what happens with old Giacomo here.
But I'm totally covered in snow because I just came in from the outside.
All right, so DM, you get to set the DC. I rolled a 13 on my con save.
Hold on. Did you hear that, Thomas?
No, I'm sorry. What was it?
So one of our new viewers, Velexion, was joking around in chat and said, roll a con save to see if you wet yourself from the terror of your dreams. So I said, I'll play along, and I rolled the con save. I said, you set the DC, but I rolled a 13. So I'm clearly in my clothes from the night before, but I've gone to approach Misty and talk to her about these terrible nightmares from the Stone of Galore.
It looks like Giacomo might have missed the urinal, so to speak. There's
The
just a
old-
light
The old
dribble.
chamber pot.
Yeah. There's a light dribble. He may have wetted himself.
So Giacomo would notice, I guess, that his pants are a little moist, and I would reach down and start brushing at my crotch and say,
It's not what you think. It doesn't happen that often. And if you dream the things that I dreamed, Kitty Cat, well, you would probably be running for the litter box.
I didn't even say a word about it.
Well, good. I suppose we can move on from Giacomo and his pee pants. I already told you about Milwhoopie. And I feel like we're getting a little too personal. Anyway, let's go find Olan and the rest of those fellas downstairs and see if we can get this train moving.
So while y'all start to move your way back down down to the tavern, Ryan Armstrong.
Yes.
Your character woke up rather early this morning. Almost you'd almost say that the entire night was this hellish landscape. Anytime you would try and close your eyes, it would almost be like you're under bubbling water, and you feel like you're constantly suffocating, and these almost green glowing eyes, three, like kind of like off in the distance, in this like massive cliff sides and rolling hills and no grass. It's like this rough dirt beneath your feet, and it's almost as if you're submerged underwater, and it's like lightning is crashing over the surface of the water, and it's just like rippling and rolling, and you just see these three eyes that constantly follow you everywhere you go, and you swear that you probably only got maybe an hour's worth of sleep last night, probably less, and it was probably the worst night of trying to go to sleep that you've ever experienced in your entire life.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That
You were
sucks.
you were not well rested at all. You didn't receive a short or a long rest for the night. And that's for any of you that sleep 300 feet from Giacomo.
Okay.
So you would have, like, let's just say you're like, you do your routine and you make your way down to the tavern. Is that good?
Okay.
What would you be doing down there?
Make my way down here, and I would just go to the bar and just whoever is Lift behind the bar.
Actually, Lif is standing almost in this like translucent mass with like shimmerings of blue and green, and he's standing there and he's got a glass mug and he's got the rag and he's just cleaning the outside of this mug, and he sets it down and he looks at you and he just nods. He doesn't, Lif never really says anything. He screams stuff.
Yeah.
So he's just like looks you deadpan in the face, and then instantly starts to rise and float through the ceiling. And as you see him kind of go through through the ceiling, he instantly, like, the rag hits the ceiling and then just falls to the floor.
Damn it. Okay. I was gonna ask him for a drink before he ran away from me. So I will. I'll go behind the bar and I will make myself a drink.
Okay.
And I actually will pour myself 2 drinks. Put 2 gold. I'll subtract some gold from my character. and I will put 2 gold in the drawer where we keep all the other excess money, and then from there I will. I'm drinking, like legit. I'm drinking right now.
All right. It's like
if
6
if
in
you
the
need me to
morning.
make Constitution saving, it's in the morning. It's like
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the what? No, what time is it now?
Like I would figure would Misty like be like the moment that the sun comes up, I'm sneaking in through my window, or is Misty like I'm a 10:30 girl?
Oh no, I try and get in there. I mean, I would have had my 8 hours of sleep, so
Yeah.
whatever time you think that would have been.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I've been drinking since 7 a.m.
Okay, so yeah,
Something like
Misty, you would have, you would have come in probably when like right in the morning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like we'll say this is like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And
Yeah, I
you're like,
basically want no one to know that. I mean, as far as I know, except for Upton, who had my tracker,
yeah,
no one knows I leave every night.
yeah.
But no, DM, I'm drinking. Do you need me to roll Constitution saving throws or anything like that?
So the first one everybody gets for free. It's the second, third, and fourth ones that I kind of like, start to question things.
Well, I'm drinking
so-
the second one. Until you tell,
Okay.
until I'm.
Yes, roll me a Constitution saving throw because I didn't know if if you'd be a slow drinker or a fast drinker.
That's gonna be a 17.
Okay, so yeah, man, you knock back these two frothy stouts, and you kind of like looking around, and you've got there's the Ogden is passed out at the bar. He doesn't really have a chosen room that he's going to be renting, and there's like another guy at the bar sitting in the chair right across from you,
Okay.
and he looks at you and he says, "You gonna pour me another?"
Sure. If I'm pouring you another. I'm pouring myself one too.
You're a good man.
All right.
You're a good man. I didn't get much sleep last night, did you?
Me either, man. Me either. I
Alright.
don't even know what's going on here. I don't know how
I
much
don't know.
I can do with this.
When did y'all turn British?
When? Hey,
When?
it's Waterdeep's, man.
I'm a noble.
Anyway, he's copying me. But he is a noble, so. But
Have different accents.
he looks at you and he says, "I appreciate the beer, mate. Thank your mom for me." And then he drinks it and he puts the mug down and he walks right out.
Is he British?
So thank
yeah.
you, Mom.
Yeah, he said, "Thank your mom for me."
I never knew my mother. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so DM,
What is
we
it?
got a redeemed magic bean item. So on the
I love
on
it.
the shelf, there's a bottle called the Last Resort. It's so strong that one shot is one drop is like a single shot of vodka, and it's made by the dwarves themselves. And he says, do any of your players reach for this last resort? And he says they fully know what it is when they see the
If
bottle.
you're still in, so if
he
you're gonna do
redeemed
that, I
the
want
he
you in the
redeemed the
chat
magic
to,
bean
tell
feature,
me
which
what
is
the
name an
DC
item.
would be.
Yes, please.
Because if it's this legendary ale, all right, give me something reasonable.
Tell me what it is, and I'll roll. I'll roll right now.
Go ahead and well, hold on. We want to get the DC first.
All right,
Yeah.
so he says, "Dang, I'll have to save up." Wait, no.
Just tell him to tell him to throw up the number in chat. It's cool. It's cool. Just throw the number up in chat. Because that's pretty cool. But right now, I imagine Misty and Giacomo have like made their way down y'all are heading into the tavern. Would y'all are y'all a front door crew or a back door crew?
I would probably just walk in the back door.
Okay.
What do you think, Ryan?
Front door or back door, man?
You talking as far as Giacomo coming into the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, Giacomo would definitely come in the back door.
Okay. So y'all are like leisurely strolling into your pub. Well, not you, Misty. You're still Misty.
All right, so it says deck save to see if you pour just a single drop, followed by the typical con roll per shot worth. So it's a 5-ounce shot. A drop would be like I don't know how many ounces, but I mean I would say something that powerful, like one shot glass is like 5 shots or 10 shots.
1.5 ounces.
Okay. So I figure I'm still waiting to hear from if they. I mean,
he didn't give me. He was talking about to see whether or not they could slowly pour just one drop in the shot glass.
I got you.
To roll a deck save, and then he said typical con roll per shot worth. So like if he puts just the tiny little drop in there, and it's like equivalent to one shot of vodka, whatever you would indicate to be the con save. But if Olan accidentally heavy hands it and pours a larger amount and then drinks it.
Okay. I like this idea. So Olan, roll me a deck save.
Oh man.
So you've got this bottle in your hand and you're like trying to steadily pour it.
Okay. That's a 5.
Oh,
I got a 5.
Oh goodness. How much of the last resort are you drinking tonight? I think your roll has told us.
I'm
Or this morning. It's this morning.
this
yeah.
morning.
He said a con save of a 20 or a 25.
That's
Oh my god.
that was me asking in the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, sorry. The V's, lots of V's in the chat.
Oh, I need to make a con save of like a 20, 25.
Well, I'm trying to see what they want.
Well, yeah, because you over poured, so you're like drinking like 10 drinks at once.
Yeah, you got a little heavy-handed, bro. 15 con.
Okay, so you
15
need to.
con?
Yep, you need to roll me a 15 Constitution saving throw.
Or better. Or are you going to be praying to the porcelain chamber pot?
I got a 12.
So you taste this like it's almost like liquid fire. It touches your tongue, the single drop, and it's like all of the hairs on your head and on your arms start to stick up. Giacomo and Misty, you literally look over at Olan, and he's got like this long black hair, and the moment that you see him rise what looks like a wooden like a small like little wooden cup to his mouth, it literally looks like the hair on his head starts to stand straight up. I mean, it's like liquid like fingernail. You're drinking like fingernail polish. This is like horrible. There's this aroma on your nose though, Ryan, and it smells like cinnamon.
Oh, you literally made it like Dwarven Goldschlager on crack?
Yeah.
Man.
Oh my god.
That's your morning drink, by the way, Olan. That's lovely on the stomach.
So
I got 2 morning beers. This is my breakfast.
So because of the fact that it counts as five shots, for the next 5 hours of in-game time, you roll with disadvantage.
Everything?
Everything.
Okay.
So when Misty and I walk in the back door and we see Olan at the bar with this bottle of last resort.
Yeah, and it looks like he's been electrocuted.
So Giacomo is going to go over to the bar and put his hand against it and get real close to Olan's face and say,
Well, Mr. Olan, sir. You look like you saw a ghost. You know, I don't think Liff is up this early in the morning unless maybe you pissed him off and you moved his skull up there in the parapet. Did you touch Liff's skull? Did you bother his body by any chance? He doesn't
It's the
very
last
much
result.
like that. Oh, what's this strange bottle you have over here?
Paid for it. I paid for
You're
it.
drinking the private reserve. Well, I look at my sun, my magic sundial wristwatch, and I look down and I'm like, oh, well, this thing's got Bizumi, and I tap it to make sure it's working. If this thing is correct, it
Yes.
says it's 9 a.m.
This is the only
You're
thing I
drinking the
can
last
do.
resort at 9 a.m.
Sleep?
What's the matter, friend? Maybe there's something good old
Meow,
Giacomo
meow.
can
You
do.
make me go
I
to
always
sleep.
manage to make you laugh. Certainly. And I reach down into my bag and I look over my shoulder and grimace and kind of giggle at Misty and say, watch this, but
So
I
as
may
you're
need your
doing this,
backup. He said he wants to
as
be
you're like
knocked out.
pulling whatever it
to
is and you're like
go
getting
to
ready to do
sleep.
it.
I was
It's like
gonna
a Michael
take
Jackson
like a little
glove.
glove out, just like a velvet, like one of the costume gloves.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna, yeah, I was just
So-
gonna smack the
so as
shit
this
out
is
of him
going
across
on,
the face with the glove.
Jason, you're walking through the front door.
So Lesnar has actually been sitting in the corner quietly watching all of this go on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so she hasn't said anything to anyone, but she's about to make her introduction
hmm
to the party.
So you see this half drowned man doing all of this, covered in this like outlandish outfit of like yellows and purples and reds, just being all outlandish and bold. And then up slides your mark, this black cat that you know and are familiar that runs by the name of Misty. Steps out. So take it away, guys.
So I walk in, I'm like, what the hell is going on in here? I was sent by the City Watch as a replacement.
Mr. Olan, sir, it's a representative of the City Watch. I think you should talk to them. Quick.
Manor. I put the bottle down underneath of the bar.
He looks like he's been like electrocuted, like
Yeah,
someone stuck into like a car
My
battery.
hair is sticking up. You can tell that the arm hairs sticking up.
So what happened to you, sir?
I may or may not have had too much to drink this morning.
Right? I think that you clearly have, given that it's 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, actually, according to this, it's 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. and I tap the sundial.
I don't know what kind of
Sundial when you're inside.
establishment you're running here, but I see the person that I've been sent here to find. How are you doing, Misty?
How do you know Misty?
What did she do now? Oh, goodness.
And
What did you
who
do?
are
Did
you?
you do?
I have been assigned to be your new parole officer. Upton was called away on urgent business.
You didn't kill him. Okay.
I told you I didn't kill him.
How many
did
times
not
have you
kill-
said that and that
You
doesn't
did not
happen?
kill that particular person. I haven't.
I haven't killed anyone.
Really?
But in case you're curious, Misty, this is the official paperwork that puts you in my charge.
Wait a minute, can I see that, Mrs. What is your name again? I'm so sorry.
And I take a slight bow forward.
I spent
Well, I
Yes.
want to assume that by the way you're dressed, dearie, but what was your name again? I'm so sorry. Oh, Miss Lazara, would you mind if I take a look at this
And I show him
official
paperwork.
paperwork? And I adjust my
All of the
ascot.
official seals and notarizations from the city.
Roll me an investigation check.
So I look at the paperwork with like a little like hand scope type deal, and I just kind of produce out of my thieves toolkit like a safe cracking type deal. And my investigation
17.
is going to
All
be
right,
a
so
17.
when you're looking it over,
Yeah.
I mean, it's solid. The, you know, handwritten ink work on this and the symbol on the top left corner is literally like it looks like it was made in a printing printing office. And you know, there's this like beautiful silver like you'd almost say wax that's been etched, like kind of like pressed into the paper, and it's the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet, and it actually has a hand etched kind of drawing of what Misty actually looks like in her profile. It literally has all of her crimes committed listed, even some that they suspect she may be actually accused for in the past, like escaping and eluding arrest, being at the scene of a murder, and whatnot. And you're kind of getting a hint that they suspect Misty for being the one that murdered the drow, so to speak. The drow with the gun.
Oh, the gunslinger.
Mm-hmm.
So Giacomo would look back at Misty and say,
Well, it seems quite official to me. But if you need a distraction, you let me know. And I'll make sure that you have a few hundred feet of advantage.
I'm fine. They haven't proven anything.
That's right. Innocent until proven guilty. That's what Geppetto always said.
I have a question. I can hear what y'all are saying, right?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you're literally right there.
I look over at you, Misty, and I wink at you. Okay, and I put my finger in my finger gun position. You already know that, like, what that means is like firebolt.
It's deadly.
I pointed at the cleric. I'm like, and I look at you. I'm like, you want me to handle this?
You do not want to do that. While I do abhor violence, I have no problem dishing it out when absolutely necessary. I suggest that you just stay at ease.
I just walked in the room. I haven't done anything.
So,
Sir,
question for the DM:
Yeah.
Do I now have access to Misty's tracker?
Oh yeah.
You would actually be in possession of a ring.
Yeah.
Okay. This small signet prisoner's ring.
Okay.
You have what is called the warden's ring. Say that 3 times fast. And this ring tells you the condition of Misty, the location of Misty. Okay, not in like high detail, but like you literally can be within like 15 feet and you'll be like, okay, they're closer, okay, they're right on top of you, and it's like a pressure on your finger. It kind of like blinks a little bit. And when Misty's life is in danger, it's like this, like these small little runed etches on it that kind of glow in these different colors, almost like regular HP bars.
Okay. So I turn to address Misty. I'm like, Misty, I'm sure that you understand the crimes that you're accused of, but I, I bear you no ill will. It's my job to be here, but I'm not going to hold any prejudice against you unless you do something that warrants it.
I mean, I appreciate that. That's what happened with my old parole officer, so that's fine. We will have a talk. We do need to talk about something later, but we can talk about that later.
That's, that's fine with me. So,
Well, yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
I I I cast Cure Wounds on Giacomo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just never took my rest.
Well,
I'm
you
sorry.
didn't-
Well,
I should
you
have done
didn't
that.
get any.
I
Yeah,
don't.
No, I'm the only one who sleeps.
yeah. Giacomo is literally the only one who gets to sleep.
Yeah, everybody else didn't get a rest. I just forgot to take one out of the game last session. I'll
Are
do
you
that real
full
quick.
health?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be full health.
And I was.
Would lesser restoration cure the drunken effect? Right.
Yes.
Poison.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does.
So I cast lesser restoration on Owen.
Okay, so Olan, he reaches forward. I will let you know.
Where's she?
For Lasara,
Lesra. There's no
Lesra.
A in
Sorry.
the middle. It's okay.
Okay. Lesra. For Lesra, she would know that to cast a spell on someone that is unwilling is a crime against against
The people.
the city and people.
Yeah,
Um,
but
like-
he-
I have a question. Okay.
Hold on one second. Give me 1 second.
I
You would
like
know.
my parole officer already.
You would know that using magic to influence a citizen without consent is a fine up to 1,000 gold edict. Also, if you're touching a lord and using magic on them, okay, without consent, that's imprisonment up to a year and a fine or damages up to 1,000 gold.
My new parole officer rules.
I don't care. I don't have time for that. You
Punishable
just
by
get yourself together, man.
I have time for that. You get yourself together.
So I cast lesser restoration on Owen to get rid of the drunkenness.
You're still gonna do it, huh?
Yeah.
So you're gonna you know it's a crime.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, he is she is Order of the Gauntlet, so she is, in her opinion, being a member of the Order of the Gauntlet. Yeah, she's above the law, essentially.
Someone could say, but
So I have a question.
yes.
What does she look like?
She's hot.
Todd?
Oh, you want to see?
Y'all are too funny. So,
If you look at the chat log, you'll see it here in a second.
no, that's okay. So I said that's the rules of law.
that's the rules of the law.
I've learned to follow this.
So when Giacomo notices notices
Lesra.
Lesra cast the
Your
spell.
your JPEG didn't work.
Yeah,
But
I'll put it
so,
in. I'll put it in a
so
different way.
Cast the spell.
And I see that Oland's demeanor changes. He's like less slacked and he's standing up more, and he doesn't
His
seem
hair
to be.
goes back down to normal.
He doesn't seem to be drunk anymore. I look over at her and say,
Oh, but that's one hell of a finger gun you've got there, Lesra. You know, he was just drinking some of the last resort. Would you care for a sip or two?
It's 9:30 in the morning. We don't have time for that.
Yes, of course. But you see, I insist because, well, if you're going to be traveling with us, present company and such, even if it is just as a parole officer for Misty, well, you know, I say this is the way we bond together.
Whoa.
And if we're all going to be brothers or sisters, that is, we should all enjoy some of this and say cheers to hell with gods and hope to find that treasure, right? What do you think, guys?
Well,
Olan, Missy, back me up.
well,
Anyone?
that is the exact opposite of everything I believe in. But I will have a beer instead.
Okay, I pour a beer for her. Who wants last resort?
I think I'll have a sip. I've never tried it.
I hand you the bottle. I'm gonna drink this. It's cold outside. We need to warm ourselves to get ourselves together.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
sit
goodness.
over here by the fire.
Roll me Constitution saving throws, please. Everybody who's
Well,
drinking.
I'm
Well,
not drinking.
I'm just having one beer.
Oh, you're having one beer? Okay, so you're good. If you're drinking one beer, you're good.
All right.
Like anybody should be able to drink.
Giacomo got a dirty 20 on his con save against
Okay,
the
so
last resort.
So you drink it and your hair starts to rise on the back of your hand and on your arms, and you can feel like the facial hair of Giacomo slowly starting to go static, and it feels like you've literally rubbed your feet super quick and fast with your socks on a carpet. The taste is like Goldschlager meets Fireball. It's like this mix between the two. You can't put your tongue on it, so to speak, but it is like liquid fire. Have you ever had Bacardi 151?
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, or like
Yeah.
Everclear. So
Yeah, where it's like that, like it
Giacomo takes
rolls
the
down.
drink back and he goes,
Oh, wow! That really is worth it. Man, you really shouldn't have let her do that. She killed your boss right away, man.
Does Olan drink again?
Hell yeah! I drink. I take a good old swig of that.
Of the beer or the last resort?
I'll take a drink of beer this time, sir.
Okay.
I need to be able to cast my spells.
I guess not. All right, so go ahead and I will ask you to roll me another con save.
Okay. That is going to be a 17.
Okay, so you're good. Okay, but so just to be clear here, okay, Olan, you unfortunately, because of not getting any rest last night, you are going to be suffering the penalty of 1 point of exhaustion and disadvantage for the next 5 hours. Oh my god.
Okay.
So you now roll you can't even roll dual disadvantage. Like, give me 1 second.
I just don't roll on anything.
Do I intensify this? Like, I don't know the punishment. Nah, screw it. So yeah, you just will continue to roll disadvantage on now officially every single roll that you make for the next 5 hours. Oh my god, dude, this is ridiculous. All right, so while this is going on, Lasara, Lesra, God, I'm gonna mess up on this until I get it right. Lesra, starts to hear, like something behind her, like you swear that, there is like someone sitting at the table directly behind you. Would you like look over your shoulder?
Yes. Look, Leslie is also feeling
Yeah.
in the tavern, and she's very curious about these 3 people.
This whole bar kind of gives off this like sickly feeling. Like, even though that it's warm and jovial and, you know, there's charisma here, in the old building that lies here, but there's just like, you always feel like something's crawling on you.
So she would look behind her.
There's literally no one there.
Can I roll? Can I roll a perception
Snap.
check?
Please do.
Damn.
Like, you swear
Yeah, 9.
a 9? Okay, this is perfect. You swear that it sounds like someone slid the chair in directly behind you.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you look there, everything is the exact same. And when you're looking behind you, you swear you hear someone speak to you over your your left shoulder. So like you're kind of like looking over your right shoulder to look at the table, but then you hear something gurgling, like this, like, you know, like when you're like underwater and you're like pushing the air out of your lungs and like just making those gurgling sounds like you're drowning. It's just like that. This frightful presence. You start to feel as if something is gingerly placing its hands on your shoulders, and there's this seated coldness. The fire is not but 15 feet away, and some people in this place, they'd be sweating, but being in the center of all of this, it's just you feel cold and you feel very slimy and you
So,
don't know what it is.
so Leslie would remember all of her cleric training, and she would remain calm,
Mm-hmm.
but she would be on guard, and she would be looking out, and she would start probably investigating what the cause of all of this, all of the stories that she's heard, and all of the darkness that she's currently feeling. She'd probably start investigating in her spare time, like what's actually going on.
Okay. Um. So, do you have like a divine sense ability, some way of like smelling the undead or evil or anything like that?
I'm not a paladin,
Yeah,
so
I know.
um,
But you might have like a channel divinity ability or
I
something.
I, I
I'm
can
not
turn
child me.
I can turn the undead, so I can.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
so
No,
if there's something undead, I can make
it's
it go
not.
away.
I
But
was just throwing that out there. I just wanted to see what you might have to kind of like
no,
help.
but I mean, I have I can I have insight, and I have
No, this is like something
yeah
else. You've
yeah.
never, like, your training has never prepared you for what kind of evil is this. Like you can feel it. Like it's like one of those uh cleansers, those people that come into your house and they've got like this, like the incense, and or like they're like a priest and they're blessing your house. It's like literally you walk in and you almost instinctively just want to turn back around and walk right out.
Mm, charming.
So but all of
Okay.
y'all, sorry,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, everybody sees her kind of like looking over her shoulder, and it feels like someone's to the left of her, and she kind of like instinctively looks to the left. Um, I'm sorry, but go ahead, take it away.
She. Okay. As I said before, she would remain calm. She would just, you know, she would be looking around her, and she would just kind of be on guard. That she wouldn't do anything. She wouldn't give any indication that she was upset to any of the other people.
Okay. So, what does after the party slams down their liquor and starts to talk to her? Uh, what do you guys? How do you guys feel about this? Like having another parole officer, Misty?
I'm okay with. I mean, I wonder where the other parole officer went, but where Upton went, but she said he got assigned to something else. So I just assume it's part of the gig.
Okay.
So Giacomo would say to Lesra,
Well, since you're going to be tagging along for a little while, I guess there's probably some things you should know about us, I suppose. If you haven't already guessed, I'm Giacomo, and I'm a performer of sorts. You may say a fool, but I think that's a little bit derogatory for what I actually do and bring to the group. And, well, over there is our friend Bolan, and then, of course, you already know about Misty. But despite what that naughty paperwork says, I promise you, she's much more friendly and way more helpful than it gives her credit for, of course. You see, well, we're going to be trying to find the treasure. You know about the treasure, right? Lord Dago Never Ember's silly treasure of dragons hidden somewhere in the city?
I know that
Tell me
some
you've heard about it.
adventurers have sought it out, and none have come back with it. But I assume that you all are trying your luck.
Well, we aim to be the first, of course, and if you are willing to come along and put up with a little bit of craziness along the way, I'm sure we could certainly
Luckily for
use
you,
your help.
according to the city, it's my job to tag along. So I offer you my services, and as long as you don't act out too much, I don't think we'll have a problem.
You don't know us that well.
Well, don't sound so excited.
Let's go get some dragons.
All right, so all of you kind of no
Sorry in advance
that
if
was
I
me
ad run.
asking if anybody had been getting hit with ads.
Don't.
Yeah, I think Alexion got an ad when he came in after a minute or two.
That's fine. Don't.
But it popped
let's
up
not
saying
worry
it was
about
going to do an ad here in a
I
little
mean,
bit.
and if
I did.
anyone wants to ask my character any questions, I'm open to it. So,
Yeah, would Olan ask any questions?
Yes, I would. What made you become like this? I mean, a person that upholds the law.
well, grew up, in a modest home. I joined the church at a young age, and I worked very hard because I had to compete against all the men to be at top of the top of my order, and I feel like there's a necessity for people to uphold good without laws. People, and I stare at Misty as I say this. People tend to do bad things, but I'm not completely rigid. Laws are not perfect, so but if any of you do anything terrible, I'm gonna have to do something about it.
I don't
Once
think we would
again.
do anything terrible. I think that you just have to watch out for Misty. Yeah. Other than that, just Misty. Like we're first pretty good. Actually, now that I realize it, DM, has Ogden moved at all?
Ogden is trying to sleep. Like he's getting grumpy. And he kind of like looks at you, and he's got like a beer in his hand, and he gets all grumbly, and he just like walks over here, and he sits down, and it just seems like he's like one of those people that like you cannot talk to until they've had their morning coffee.
Can I pour him a cup of coffee?
You don't have coffee.
That's right, we don't have coffee. I have another question. Does coffee even exist in this world?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Next thing we need, I look over at Giacomo, and I said the next thing we need to get, what are the people who work for us? What are their names again, DM?
Yep,
Gilbert
Gilbert
and
and
Gil- yes.
Dilbert.
We need
You
to
must be
get
talking about
Gilbert to
Gilbert and
get us some
Gilbert.
coffee. We're missing out on business in here.
Yes,
I just realized that Ogden gave me. We can name it the Ogden Special.
Lesnar reaches into her pack and throws a bag of coffee beans at Owen.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Olan.
I think what she's trying to say is,
Okay,
hurry up and book up so we can go look for the damn treasure.
We don't have any.
And if Ogden's gonna be all mopey and sleep, maybe it's best we don't disturb him. I think between you, myself, Kitty Cat, and Lesra, we'll be just fine.
Yo. Okay,
We've got
fine.
5 minutes or I'm setting up camp slow on the road.
So, roll me a survival check.
Who?
Ogden. No, Olan. Sorry.
Okay, survival.
Olan.
Okay. This is gonna be fun. That's a natural 20! 21 total! Yes!
You brew an
You used your best roll of the knife on
Like, you literally
coffee.
make the best pot of coffee you've ever made in your entire life, and it's enough
My first pot of coffee.
for literally like every single person in this entire tavern can get like 1.5 cups of this like frothy, delicious amber. Like it's completely black, of course, but there is nothing more uplifting than this. It's like having hot cocoa. But
Leslie says, I expect that you have a cup for me, of course.
Of course I do. I hand her a cup of coffee.
whoever would want some may partake. But after you enjoy your coffee, Giacomo, you continuously get more like frustrated and flustered as time goes on because you're noticing that nobody's moving, and that seems like the reason is because y'all don't really have a pinpoint direction to head in.
So as I get frustrated, I would sort of like
Roll me
basically grind a
roll me a
rut in the floor.
D6, please.
Okay.
Roll me a D6 as well.
I'd be like grinding a rut in the floor, walking a path, pacing back and forth. And then essentially I would walk over to Misty from where I'm standing, facing behind the bar, and I would say,
Look, Missy, it seems like once again, the merrymakers and troublemakers
and I point to her and point to myself as I say that.
are going to have to rope this whole show together. Now, we both had strange things happen last night, right? With the stone? You remember? You were scolding me for talking to myself and making a bunch of noise. Now, I don't know what happened to you. If you want to tell me, I suppose that's okay. But if not, well, I have the stone, and maybe we could ask it where we need to go.
I want nothing to do with the stone. That's why I put it underneath your mattress.
Wait, it's under my mattress.
And I basically like pat myself down looking for it, and I'm like super flustered that it's missing, and I go running upstairs, the second level upstairs to the third level, and get to my room in the attic and shove my hands under the mattress to try to fish out the bag in the stone that's inside of it.
And there it rests, kind of like right where your shoulder blade would be sitting on the mattress, and it's just like
Okay.
kind of almost like it's like been thrown and slid right underneath the mattress, just like the edge tucked.
So I squeeze as best I can and like get stuck right around where my butt is, and I like reach out as far as I can, stretching my fingers to grab the bag and pull it back. And when I do, and I get it close to myself, I uncinch the cord that's tying the bag closed, and I look down into the bag just to visually check to see if the stone of door is in fact inside.
It is in fact still inside the bag, unscathed, untouched, unmoving, and these three.
All right, I got a 2 on a D6.
So it collects back 2 of its charges. It only burned 1 of its 3 charges, but it gets all its max charges back.
Okay, and this is for the lore thing, the ability that it has.
Ability.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
No, I was gonna say. If you wanted to use
I would just bound down. Yeah, I was gonna bound downstairs with the stone, like an excited kid on Christmas, and I would open the bag up and stand in front of Misty and say,
Look, it's still there. I'm glad you didn't lose it. But if you're going to leave it with me, just let me know. I don't mind the creepy, and I don't mind the weird. But if I'm going to be scared, at least I'd like to know where the scary is coming from, you dig?
Keep that thing away from me.
So,
Well, of course, I don't want you to have it either, Misty, because I think if any one of us had scary dreams, well, yours are bound to be the scariest. But do you think we could ask the stone? Do you think it's safe? Maybe we go down into the basement where the skeleton man and Bear live, and we can talk to the stone down there. Yeah,
I
think that's a good idea, right?
Up top.
so Leslie has been keeping her eye on Misty this entire exchange.
Yeah.
What would she see / hear of any of this?
You'd hear every bit of it. Like you might not hear what Misty's saying, but Giacomo
I'm a total loudmouth.
he's an entertainer, and
He's
his level of
very
charisma.
loud.
Yeah, like literally when you tell him to be quiet, he's like, "What?" And spitting and chewing and food falling out of his mouth, just being belligerent with his volume levels.
So Leslie would probably follow Giacomo down into the basement to see what exactly he has in his hands and what he's doing.
Okay. So, would Olan accompany Giacomo, seeing that he's going to the basement?
Yes, he would.
Okay, Misty, you're just gonna stay up there?
I will stay by the trapdoor or wherever they're going down.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with that stone anymore.
Yeah, looks like it's alright.
Unless they call me in there.
So I would go down to the basement if we haven't already been moved down there. Alright, cool.
Ryan Spitzer, will you do me a favor when you get a chance to reset your hit points?
It might not have. If Tommy takes my token off the screen and puts my token back, it'll be refreshed. So like delete my token and then just bring me back in. It should have it.
Nope, it's still at 631.
Not sure why I did that, but I can do it in the sheet.
If you're doing it on your phone, if you're adjusting your HP on your phone with the app, it will not correlate to above VTT. Yeah. You actually have to use like your computer to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's up now, but it's how I keep track of it.
Alright, there we go.
Yeah, and it won't let me adjust Olan Reese's HP because Yeah.
He's just a token on a character in the yeah. So
Yep.
I guess we're down in the basement now and everything's set up. And I say,
Mister, are you sure you
I'm
want...
like right at
are
the
you downstairs
top
with
of
us?
the-
Did you ultimately come down?
I guess top of the stairs. Yeah, like trying to keep watch.
Ready to go
and
up
make
if
sure
anything happens?
if anything weird happens.
Okay. I got you.
Well, I suppose now is as good as ever.
And I take the stone out of the bag and I place it down on the floor. And I sit down cross-legged and I
Hey, Ryan.
look at the stone intently for
what's
a
your
few
HP?
minutes.
My
And then
HP is. I'm sorry, give me 1 sec to check on my.
It's okay, I'm manually putting it in.
Is 27.
Jeez. Alright. There we go.
I look down at the stone intently and stare at it with like big wide eyes, and I say,
Galore? Good morning, Galore? Are you there? It's Giacomo. I'd like to talk to you if you don't mind very much. Excuse me. Galore, whatever. Hello? Are you there?
Yes, Giacomo. I am here. I'm always here, Giacomo.
I was just sort of wondering, would you be willing to help find the treasure for us?
Is that what you're looking for? You do know many have traveled and looked for this magical treasure over the years, and all of them have died, Giacomo. Are you sure this is what you want? This is what you seek?
Well, this is absolutely what I seek. You see, at this
As
point...
soon as you say that, you get no opportunity to speak. Okay? You're immediately, like, frozen. Like, your body tenses up. You guys see Giacomo's head kind of rise a little bit and his mouth goes slack. And the eyes in the back of his head kind of shudder, they roll to the back and they kind of shudder, and then they kind of snap forward. And it's like as quickly as a person snaps their fingers, Giacomo is back. But for him, you feel as if you're being pulled, almost sucked through the streets. It's like the quickest route. It's like you just punched in coordinates on your GPS and it's telling you the fastest route to a location with no tolls. Okay. And it literally takes you through alleyway and road and street past people who have been walking or are walking in the memories of other people. And you feel as if like you're jumping from one place to another, sliding and moving and twisting and turning. And it brings you to this massive wall. And you're so familiar with it. Like, you've been here before. And for those of you, if you look at the map, it brings you all the way down to the city of the dead. It brings you to here on the map.
Oh, sweet.
And when it brings you to the city of the dead, it's like a slow. You can't hear anything.
I can't see anything.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, so it's all right. I'm gonna give a physical description of what is
Yeah,
seen.
cool.
Okay, these these magnificent stone walls rising up to 30 feet in height with large mounted watchtowers overlooks this beautiful forested area with massive mausoleums. Lesra Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got
that's
it right.
Lesra, you are so familiar with the City of the Dead. It's
Mhm.
where clerics of the grave reside. They have a small gathering, a church that is located in the City of the Dead where they worship the dead and they maintain the dead and take care of the dead. And it is their sole responsibility to appear the protection and to punish those who would desecrate
We're gonna take
and
a picture of it.
violate a sacred space of someone's resting place. And here, this place, you feel yourself, Giacomo, being pulled through and taken down a small road that goes to your left and then veers to your right and then travels forward a bit. And then there, this almost circular mausoleum, this round, but also it has a pointed entryway that opens up and drops down into the ground. This small mausoleum that goes under the ground in one of the spaces. For those of you with a map, I'm going to show you something, and it brings you to this. The front entryway has what appears to be 6 deceased trees, dead and rotting in simple lines between each other. 2 standing gargoyles. Sorry, my son wants to talk to me. Give me 1 second. Good night, buddy. Give me 1 second. I'll give you a kiss. Sorry about that. 2 large gargoyles rest at the entryway of this mausoleum. And, where's my book? There are what would have been at one point of its existence while it was summertime, this beautiful these beautiful flowers that would reside out in front, and 2 benches. But unfortunately, there is no beautiful greenery besides these seasonal trees that are growing and kept. And the bushes are just barren and completely covered in snow. And outside, you see these large stone walls that kind of come up by a couple of feet and then kind of burrow their way down as you descend deep into this mausoleum. And then instantly you see, I can't show it to you, but you see these 2 doors slowly open up. And when they do, you would see what appears to be a crypt to your right and a crypt to your left. Then 2 elevated crypts to your left and to your right, but kind of backwards towards this descending stairwell. And then it takes you down this descending stairwell into a large underground crypt. It's a long 10 by 40 shaft that goes and descends with pockets in the walls where resting coffins reside with stone placards on the walls. And then it takes you down a hallway once more. And there you notice that a new burial section has been crafted and created. And it seems as if it's crude and very what's the word? Very quickly assembled. Let's see. As you're being pulled out of this mausoleum, and you're kind of being pulled back to your body, the last thing that you see is written in plain English above this mausoleum is the Brandith family mausoleum. And it's these almost like filigreed etchings on the ceiling above before you go into that descending chasm into that long crypt shaft.
So after I see all the stuff in my mind's eye because the effect of stone, like I basically rush back in and my vision turns to me.
Okay. Yes, for you and me, like me telling you all this, for you it feels like you've just traveled there
Physically?
physically in 2 hours, but for all of them it's a mere split, like finger snap a second, probably less than that, of you instantly receiving this vision and then snapping back to.
So when I come back, I would like pat my body and be like,
Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. I was just in the city of the dead. And it was a really long walk to get there, too. And it certainly was cold outside. Have I been gone long?
No,
Oh, you never left, bro.
you were barely out of it for a second.
Well, it must be the damn stone again, I guess. Do you all remember me asking it the question?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, okay, at least that part's right.
I told you that stone's dangerous.
Well, of course it's dangerous, Misty, but we still need it.
So you're telling me that you want to venture into the city of the dead?
Well, no, I did. I actually did. I really did. I was there.
Yeah, it literally felt like you were really there.
I know you'll think I'm crazy, but the Lord showed me. It's, down through the main entrance and deep into the heart of the city of the dead. There's this mausoleum, and it's all off by itself, with some dead trees out front and a couple of weird gargoyle statues. I walked down into it, or maybe I didn't walk. I don't know. But it was like my eyes looking at it, so I suppose I walked, or maybe it was galore. But anyway, me, the stone, it, us, I don't know. We got down into the crypt. Of course, there was lots of old dusty ones. Then there was a new one. It looked like someone had recently been buried. Buried quickly. Not fancy like, you know? I think we might be onto something. Or rather, the stone is at least.
Lesnar asked Giacomo to let her look at the stone.
Well, of course.
What'd you do?
Of course you can look at the stone, miss, but I do have to warn you, as a lady, and also as a member of the Lord's Alliance and the Gauntlet and part of this, punitive group in charge of taking care of Misty, please don't be mad at me if it does something bad to you, because I can't quite predict what will happen.
I don't actually touch the stone.
Well, you want me to hold it, or do you want to take a look at it on the ground?
I'm going to look at it on the ground.
Okay, well, stoop down here, and I'll show you what I know.
So I kneel down and like take a knee next to the stone, and I look at Lesnar and I say,
See, it's this strange thing. It's like, it looks like a smooth, polished river stone, right? Or at least that's what it wants you to think it is. But then, do you see those three little bulges right there?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, don't look at them too long. And don't look at them cross, okay? Because they're actually eyes. Yes, of course. They're eyes. And, well, they don't exactly move around or anything, at least not from what I've seen yet. But they do look at you. Deeply look at you. Like down to your undies look at you.
Lesnar makes an insight check to see if she believes what Giacomo is saying.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
and Jason, I'll put a copy of what it looks like in the Discord chat if you're on the Discord chat.
26.
26. Yeah, you hands down believe every single word he's saying.
Okay. That is one interesting stone you have there.
Interesting is to say it lightly. Well, this whole thing here, it's older than you, and older than me. And well, it claimed to be even older than Faerun itself. And actually, we call it the Stone of Galore because that's the name that it gave us for itself. And when it taught us about who it was, or rather what it was, it said it was a very ancient being. Yes, probably from the beginning of time even. It knew all sorts of things about me. Really strange things. Why, it even knew about Geppetto, my dad back at the circus. And it knew about Sally the Strong Woman. And the tiger cage.
Like everything he's saying is like you almost feel like there's no way he could be lying about any of this. Like
No,
he just
but,
seems like he just wants people to believe him.
but Leslie doesn't say anything, but she's very confident that she's identified the stone as being pretty evil.
Oh, most certainly.
Yeah.
Like
She
the
Yeah, so but she doesn't say anything to anyone.
mhm. Like based off of what he's saying, it almost sounds like this object is sentient. It has free thought and it is quite literally communicating with him.
Yeah. I'm like,
So
well, that's very nice for you, Giacomo. Do you want to follow the path that the stone showed you in your mind?
Well, I think that's a good start. I certainly wouldn't want to walk it alone. So, if everyone's had their breakfast and their drink, maybe we could fetch a coach and take it to the city of the dead. It's much far to walk from where we are here in the North Fort all the way to the city, especially in the dead of winter, of course.
That sounds like a good idea.
Well,
Oh.
in my time as a cleric, I spent some time in the city of the dead. It's not the most pleasant place in the world.
you would know that one of the crimes, if committed in the city of the dead, is if anyone speaks louder than if basically if anyone speaks louder than actual like normal person having a conversation, they will be recited a fine. They'll be
Yes.
given a fine of up to 5 gold.
I hate
Yeah.
this place.
Giacomo,
It's bad, dude. The City of the Dead is very bad.
You're
No,
going to
just
have
all of Waterdeep.
you're going to have to use your quiet voice if we go to the City of the Dead.
Well, of course, I can try. I've never been. You see, they don't let the gypsies be buried there.
Yes, I know, but it's very important to be respectful of the dead there.
Well, when I get there, I'll be sure to be quiet. And if I am going to talk, I'll put my finger up like this. Try to talk like this. Do you think that's quiet enough, Lazara?
Just do your best to be as quiet as possible. I know it's hard for you.
I would certainly do that, ma'am. Of course, yes, ma'am.
So, what does the party do here now? Do you all collect your things and, kind of get yourself situated and head out the door to this City of the Dead?
Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
Okay.
And
So before, go ahead, Jason.
Leslie is going to go wherever Misty goes, so if Misty's going, I'm going.
I got you. So I did want to ask, when do you all want to take a break?
Well, it's
Can
9
we
o'clock
do
now. Do
one,
we want
like-
to do? Go
I
ahead,
mean,
sir.
this is probably good right before we get ready to go do this.
Yeah.
I mean, why
So-
don't we do like another 15 minutes? Is that cool?
Why
That's
don't
fine.
we get there?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can stop right when we get to the mausoleum.
Works for
That's
me.
fine.
That's fine.
So the party collects themselves and they get themselves ready, and they slowly start to head to the city of the dead. And they are making their way through the city as they start to notice that a few city watch individuals are keeping a close eye on the party.
Well, didn't we get a carriage?
Oh yeah. Well, you had it for just the day. You didn't get to keep it.
Well, no, I thought we were gonna get one, and then
I mean, you
That's-
can if you'd like. It's going to take you
You
about
can?
2 hours to travel through the city.
Okay, cool.
By
I'm gonna
foot.
grab one. Let's get a carriage. I'll pay for
Okay.
it. Okay, guys.
Okay.
So, it's going to be about 3 gold for the
Thank you.
carriage ride. And you get what appears to be a young little girl. And her dad seems to be kind of like asleep in the passenger seat beside her. And she's kind of like got the reins, and she looks at all of you and she says, "Well, get all in. Everybody get all in. That'll be 3 gold." And you pay her, and you all pile in, and the carriage takes off.
this isn't the same one I stole the key from, is it?
No. This is a different
Oh,
person.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was.
His own granddaughter doesn't trust him to work in the city alone anymore. So you twist. There's a few twists and a few turns, and you're in the carriage for roughly about 30 minutes, and it's about 10:14, maybe 10:15 in the morning, and you pull up, and it's snowing still constantly. Thick piles of snow have gathered on to the rooftops of the city. The walls of the city of the dead have this thick ice that's growing up on the top, like kind of pathways. And you notice that there are guards. There are these different city guards that have been stationed. And they all seem to have the same kind of outfit. And it seems like a different regiment that has been assigned here, like a different kind of collective of thinkers. You assume that all of these people are someone that follow a faith that matches that of the clerics of the dead on the inside. They may be rising up the ranks or whatever, or they just may follow in the tenets and faith. And they protect the wall itself. The carriage brings you up to the front gate, and the gates are guarded by what appears to be 2 men dressed in kind of like this white attire with chainmail underneath, and these chainmail headdresses with a cloth placed over it. And they both have short spears and shields. And you approach, and they look at you unmoving, and they acknowledge your existence with their eyes. And you would know, as a cleric of life, that their job, Jason, is just to man the gate. They're to keep an eye on, and if anybody arises like questions, like something bad has happened, they could be like, "Oh, I saw this person entering in from this gate or whatever." So you get. Go ahead.
So Leslie, in her cleric training, has visited the City of the Dead numerous times, and she goes up to the guards and she asks them to open the gate nicely.
You as you approach him, the gates themselves slowly start to open. So it's like the closer you get, the more the gates begin to open. and you look at the top, and there's like three men that are pulling these massive wooden gates open on either side of each of the walls, and they're pulling the double doors open, and the doors go about 10 feet high, um, and there's like a walkway across the top. You slowly start to enter into the city of the dead, and that's when y'all notice like everything completely changes. Like when you're in the city, everyone is they're kind of miserable and they kind of hate life and they're just kind of going through the motions. But when you walk into the city of the dead, you see a couple of kids throwing snowballs, kind of giggling and laughing. And as they do that, like their parents kind of like shush them and like tell them to stop. And the kids are like, "Oh, sorry, mom. Sorry, dad." You know, you kind of look past and there's this elderly woman, this elderly elven woman uh walking over to a headstone, and she's like leaving these flowers, and she kisses her hand and kisses the stone. And you know, there's just like all of these people, like I mean hundreds of people just walking around smiling and laughing, but not too loud, and people whispering and talking to each other. There's a couple of benches that lie around that people are sitting on, and that's when you notice that there's like a special breed of people walking through the area, and all of them have what appears to be these long draped uh, robes that kind of come down, and they all have what appears to be a book in hand, and they have like a chain attached to it with like that kind of like rolls through and into their hand, and they're kind of walking together in clusters every now and then. And as they walk, you can see that on their legs they're wearing chainmail, and they have what appears to be a mace kind of tucked underneath and in the back, and it's a smaller mace. It's a very portable and small mace, like almost like a baton, but a little bit bigger. And they're all walking through kind of just smiling and waving and talking to each other. And you recognize them and the sigil on their chest as the clerics of the dead that reside and take care of the grounds. So what do you guys do now that you're here?
Can I, I'd like to, once we get, like, kind of past the front gate,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to, kind of sneak out of the carriage
Okay.
and then just kind of follow along like I would normally do.
Yeah. So you're you know, trying to be stealthy and trying to like dip and like stay incognito, kind of Assassin's Creed style.
Yeah.
And um you all slowly start to emerge into like this like open area where it kind of veers to the left and then it kind of veers to the right. Giacomo, you don't remember entering in through this gate.
Olin's
Giacomo.
asleep.
Put your mic down.
Olin's asleep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's mute him.
That's hilarious.
This is now the second time he's done
Yep.
this.
So let's ask Giacomo. So which way do you want to proceed?
So Giacomo would say,
Well, give me a second. I've got to situate myself.
and I look around and try to follow like
You go right or left?
clues
I just need to
that
know.
I would
Right or left?
remember from the vision.
All right, so
Stone
you
gave
start
me.
to go left, and you guys
Oh,
travel
left.
through, and again, you see more loved ones and more people, all here, and all of them seem to be happy. Like it's almost as if like being in the presence of the dead is uplifting, and it's not like it is in our reality where everyone's sad because of the sad memories. If someone's buried in the city of the dead, it's almost like a celebration. People are not cheering the fact that these people have died, but they're remembering the happier times when those people were alive.
Gotcha. Hey guys, I gotta go tuck my little one in bed real quick.
I think right now would be a perfect time to take a break then.
All right.
Are you gonna go wake up Olin?
Yeah, this will be a perfect time. I'm gonna get myself some ice cream or pie as well. I'll unmute him. So, Giacomo, please roll me a perception check, please.
$21.
21. All right, and just to let everybody know, for those of you rolling with disadvantage, you only are suffering. If you were drunk at the time, an hour has elapsed. So for Ryan, since you had 5 hours, for you it is now 4. For anybody else that may have failed theirs, your drunkenness is subsided. Wait, no, didn't you? No, you lesser restoration his ass, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I took another drink, and then you gave me more disadvantage again.
That's right, because you didn't do so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you drink again. Okay.
Because you were more and then kept drinking.
Yeah. It's like, you got rid of my drunkenness, you asshole. So anyway, so the party slowly starts to head this way. And when you get to here, Giacomo, it hits you like a ton of bricks. You now know exactly where you're at. You had to go down that left trail, and now you notice these 2 mausoleums here, and you notice one as well right here that you recognize almost immediately. And it's not until you get to about here when you realize that what you're looking for is this round mausoleum.
So as we come through the path and walk by a few of the similar sites and natural landmarks, I look back at the group and say,
We're here, look, there's the 6 dead trees that I told you about, Lesra. And then, just over there, look, it's those creepy gargoyles. And then, yes. Oh, yes, I forgot. Well, hey, Misty, maybe you should go look at it. It's that one over there.
and I point at the round.
I'm just falling behind.
Mausoleum.
Okay.
I'm falling behind you guys.
You're like swaying back and forth. Once in a while, you
Aren't-
stumble here and there.
Aren't you all in the carriage? I'm the only one that snuck out, right?
You would have gotten out of the carriage and you're forced to walk. No carriages or horses are allowed in the City of the Dead.
Oh, okay. I'll go see what I can see.
So, as you're like looking around, you notice that everyone here is dressed rather nicely. Some people somewhat plain, but other than that, everybody here is respectable in some nature. And people, they're not really wearing like their nicest jewelries, but they're wearing something, and they're trying to make a point of the fact that they genuinely care about what they look like here, especially when they're going to go see their beloved loved ones before they're untimely. So Misty, you notice the people of faith walking around. A few of them take notice to you, but they smile at you. They don't like look at you like you're a troublemaker. Everyone here is equal, and everyone here is the same. You all go to the ground when you die. Now, is there anything in particular that you might be looking for?
I just want to see if anybody's like at the entrance to this mausoleum, I guess.
No. You approach this mausoleum that Giacomo's been speaking about, and the whole party does. You all approach. I'll say Misty because you're just a little bit quicker than everybody. You get there and you kind of got your hands at your sides. And let me go ahead and switch the image. And let me drop in everybody's tokens.
And I was thinking about burning a spell to disguise self, but I guess I didn't need to.
I mean, you're more than welcome if you would like to.
Nah, I don't think so. Not at this point. I thought I was the only one out of the carriage. I didn't realize we were all out of the carriage.
So you're ahead of everyone, and you're kind of walking towards the entryway, and the first thing that you guys notice is the double doors are completely drawn closed. These wooden doors with metal braces. And as you approach, you see these massive gargoyles almost staring you down. And you see two trees to your left over here. You see one massive tree right here, and about 4 clusters of trees over here. So what? Just kind of getting a sense of what everybody in the party's doing. So would you say that Olan is behind Lesra and Giacomo, or would you say he's beside?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna be right behind Giacomo.
Okay.
Right there, perfectly, right there.
Okay. So
And he's just swaying back and forth. His head is down. He's paying attention, but like he's drunk. He's drunk.
Okay. So you all you see this massive view, these large stone walls that go up a few feet and slowly start to descend. The stairwell in front of you, Misty, declines going downward. And it descends until you get about 3 feet, 3 to 4 feet down, maybe even 5 feet until it hits another platform, and then you can see it drops even lower. And it slowly starts to work its way towards the doors. Are you going to, take that first step and start to descend down?
Can I check for any kind of traps or anything?
You're more than welcome to. I would love to have you check for anything that might be suspicious.
What would that be? Is that a... What do I roll for that?
So...
Investigation?
Yes, please roll me an intelligence investigation check, please.
Investigation. Alright, let's see if I can figure something out here. Okay. I mean, that's a 15.
You don't really see anything in particular. No traps, none of that. But what you do see is something very creepy. This tree over here. You notice that there are these dimples on the tree. And they're very symmetrical. They're very close to each other. And you notice what appears to be a owl's roost, like the hole kind of directly below that. And that's kind of really what you see. And that catches your eye the most. It just seems something like out of place, kind of like off center and not natural.
Okay, I will. Since Giacomo's closest to me, I'll kind of like lean back at him and kind of do like the, do the thing where you 2 fingers up to your eyes and then point at the tree.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll make my way further
Nice.
on, like a couple. I'll make my way to this first little landing.
Okay, so the moment that you descend down into the steps, what is everybody else doing? Are y'all gonna follow? Are you just gonna hold back and kind of watch?
Lesnar is gonna follow cautiously.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna say you get to like the top of the steps. Okay.
Giacomo would.
What about Giacomo?
Giacomo would most definitely follow. Sorry, I had my mute up. Giacomo would most definitely want to follow Missy, and I would like to roll a stealth check.
So there's
taking cues
There's
from her. She
no
kind of
way
gave
to
me
really
the
successfully
sign language
stealth
pointing
here.
back.
You're out in the open.
Okay.
Quietly?
All right.
Yeah,
well,
go
then
ahead,
I'm
roll
just
me-
going to make sure I
roll
walked
something.
very quiet-footed, and I'm going to. I'm not trying to hide per se, but I just
Roll
don't
me a
wanna trip and
dexterity
fall.
check.
So I'm moving slowly and cautiously.
Because you never know, the steps could be icy, covered in
All
ice.
right, we'll do that. Yeah, they could be.
They never do.
slippery. It could
Not in
be
the City of the
could be a
Dead.
bad day. They couldn't have put salt down or something. Yeah, not in the city. Yeah, who knows?
A dirty 20, beautiful.
All right, so
So you,
going to be a dirty 20.
Like, your
So
foot
walking
hits the
around
top,
and kind
top
of
of
the
the
cartoon
steps,
creep thing
and
with the
as it
finger up
does,
on the
it
mouth.
slips, but you kind of like catch your balance and reposition your foot, being that of like a juggler and a famous circus performer. And you just reposition yourself and you catch your balance, and you're about to, go butt over tea kettle all the way down the steps, but you're good. And it's right at that moment.
Hold on,
That-
before you go any further, can I say right before I took the step, because I saw the things that I think are eyes, can I cast Blade Ward on myself? Or
Yeah.
is it too late? Okay.
Yeah, no, dude, you cast Blade
Okay.
Ward on yourself, and so like you're incanting and chanting, and you cast it. Giacomo like somewhat slips. Does anybody want to prep anything? I'll let you do it.
I'm gonna prep a spell.
I'm gonna cast Gift of Alacrity on myself.
Gift of Alacrity. Okay. I love that spell so much.
Spell, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself,
Okay.
and I am going to ready. No, I can only. I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself. And would you allow me to prepare another spell?
You only get one.
Okay, I'll just cast the Mage Armor on myself then.
All right, give it 1 second. So all of y'all are, casting all of this and moving your way down and starting to kind of get a little spooked, and that's when you actually see it. The eyes open up. The hole tightens up and turns into a mouth, and a nose slowly starts to form. And you see this massive evergreen tree
Nice.
kind of starting to take shape and take form. And it looks down at all of you, and simply and politely it says, "Only those of Brandith blood are welcome here. Begone." Roll me a history check.
Everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
I got a 17.
I rolled a crit 1.
So like she hears Brandith, and when Lesra hears that, she's like, "Who? One of y'all have got to be Brandith. We wouldn't be here if we weren't Brandith, right?" Like it's like kind of like that. But the lot of you, Misty, what did you get?
17.
17. So all of you are like Brandith. Like that. Do we know someone with that heritage, with that lineage? And immediately, you recognize that as being it tells you that the Brandith family is actually Never Ember bloodline. It actually, the mother of Rainier was actually a Brandith. So you kind of like remember, you're like, wait, I've heard about this, and you so more Olan than anyone. You notice that so like everybody's like, wait, I know who that is. And you're the person who shouts it out. You're like, wait, Rainier Never Ember. This, and you so and more Olan than anyone. As you do, the tree says, "He may pass. None of you may though. Bring back a Brandith, and you may enter, safe and sound." Or, and as he says that, you immediately see what appears to be one of these trees sprout up, and you see one of these trees sprout up over here.
So Giacomo would look over at Misty, and I would do the finger motion that she did, pointing at the other trees that popped up, and then I would do like a come hither motion with my hand, like basically
ignore the HP values.
Trying to get, I would basically be trying to get Misty to come back over to me to whisper to her real quick.
Mm-hmm. And like Misty, if you continue to get closer to the door, the trees slowly start to get closer to you.
So Westwood says this might not be the best idea.
Well, you see, we do know a Never Ember, but he's not here with us. So maybe we could pick him up and bring him back. And then we won't have to deal with all these trees. Unless, of course, you just want to say to hell with it and make a break for it.
We should definitely get him.
You broke up right there.
Get into a fight with a tree. I said I think we should go get Rainier. It'll save us a lot of as I look over at the trees, a lot of discomfort, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
I don't think we should. I don't have that much fine money. I mean, I don't think
Well,
the destruction of property in this type of place.
It's not something that you want to be doing.
Okay, yeah, I can completely agree with that. Maybe we should go back to the carriage. Possibly, you can go find Rainier. He's probably at the yawning portal. Maybe we should go get him there.
I will walk back here.
When you get up to there, they move back.
And I'll get Giacomo. And I go, Giacomo, come with me. And we're going to go
I'll follow your lead. I trust
far
you.
away where they can't see.
Yeah, so, like, I mean, just you and Giacomo?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hold on. Yes, I totally get this. All right. So we basically leave like the area and go back to the street.
And then I'm going to turn
away from the mausoleum. So when we get far enough away, I would say,
I'm going to turn myself into Rainier.
Look, on the count of 3, let's say it at the same time.
As you turn into Rainier, I'm like,
Oh, damn it! You're thinking the exact same thing I was thinking.
And then we'll walk back.
What? So,
But
Okay.
was being connected to Misty knows what just happened, and
No, you don't know any of that.
Well, you would know that she left you.
You.
You know it's me.
Because you're coming back with Giacomo, and Misty's
Yeah.
missing
Yeah, and I can feel that it's you because of my ring.
because of the ring.
Yeah, you know it's me.
So I look at you and I was like, I don't think this is a good idea.
Well,
So-
tough shit.
That's so shit. So you
And I after Misty says tough shit, I lean past Misty's shoulder, now looking like Rainier, and I point a finger at Misty, like at her chest, and I say,
Excuse me, Miss Lesra. You did say to keep your voice down, and it's actually Rainier. You see? Rainier Never Ember.
and then I like give a super awkward look at her, and I say,
It's okay. He just wanted to show us the family crypt.
I
that right?
face palm myself
Rainier
right now. 'cause
Never
I'm-
Ember.
Oh God.
And I'll walk forward again and see what happens.
I'm not going up the steps yet.
Does anything happen?
do we need to roll perceptions to see what's going on, DM? He's
So
shaking
you,
his. We got the DM shaking his head. This is not good.
down once more. And as you approach, the treant comes back to life. And the treant's awakened trees that it uses are still active.
Mm-hmm.
And as you approach, so does the big tree.
Hold on. Just wait
So
a
does
bit
the
longer.
smalls.
God. Oh, God.
Don't worry. It's going to be okay,
And-
okay, Lesra?
The treant says once more, only those of Brandith blood are welcome here. Be gone. Seems to say it with a little bit more infliction. And it seems as if a simple disguise or a spell is not what is needed.
So Giacomo would take the pouch with the Stone of Galore, untie it from his waist, and open the pouch and look down inside of it, and I would say,
Mr. Galore, now would be a great time if you would be willing to help us out. Is there any way that you can give me the blood of
Oh, God. Are you serious?
So you'd say, and
God.
immediately, you're frozen. Your body tenses up, and your hands go to your side, and your head kind of rises up, and your mouth goes slack, and your eyes kind of flutter for a little bit, and you feel yourself travel through the city, zigging and zagging, and there you walk through the front doors of the yawning portal, and sitting in his usual spot is Rainier Neverember, and his best friend Floon Blagmar sitting across from him with two girls on both sides, and he's like, flirting with one, and the other one looks a little upset, so he turns and starts to flirt with that one, and he's like, Rainier, are you gonna take the bet, or are you just gonna sit there and look stupid once more? And Rainier, he's like, he's looking at Floon Blagmar, and you see him say, why would I bet on something so foolish and careless? Why do I think that barmaid is going to spill beer on that guy? And she goes, oh, and Floon says, just watch, she's clumsy, you'll see. And he goes, I'm not taking that bet. And it immediately flashes back to where you are, and you awaken, knowing that Rainier Neverember is sitting in the tavern of the Yawning Portal at this exact moment.
I immediately after that happens.
Well,
to
you
him,
don't
seeing
know.
his face-
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You don't
no.
know.
I don't know any of that. I'm just witnessing him go slack and everything like that. I am now going. Are you okay, Giacomo? Are you having a stroke, buddy? You okay?
You only have one more legend lore ability that you can use.
So Giacomo comes to, snaps back out of it. He goes, "Oi, oi, 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 oi. Well, hurry, call a carriage. Let's get the hell out of here. If we leave now, we can go pick up that namby-pamby Rainier and make it right back here before lunch. Come on, let's go."
Okay. I think you're having a problem here
No.
with not getting any sleep, buddy. But
Hey,
okay.
don't worry about it. Trust me. He's at the yawning portal. I saw him in my noggin. He was right there in my brain.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Leslie looks very suspiciously at Giacomo, but doesn't say anything.
Okay.
I guess I'll walk back since this didn't work.
Yeah. Are we all walking back to get a carriage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So y'all head back and you flag down one of the carriages sitting and resting off on the side waiting for someone to come out. Someone always comes out of the City of the Dead. And you're able to flag it over and make your way to the Yawning Portal. It is going to take you about an hour's travel. Now you have expended 2 to 3 hours of your drunkenness, Ryan.
Okay, cool.
So you only have 2 more hours left of suffering from disadvantage. But nonetheless, you all make your way into the Yawning Portal. And let me switch maps real quick. And here you find yourself at a familiar respite. Old and friendly and warm and jovial. Hundreds of people. It feels like litter this entire tavern. Just moving about, cheering and just laughing and drinking and gambling and talking, the whole 9 yards. You give 1 second.
I'm gonna stay outside.
I'm going to stay outside too with Misty.
I'm going inside.
Probably.
Well, I'm just not
That's
like
probably for the.
Well, my main job is to watch you.
I mean, you always know where I am, so it's not a problem.
I know, but I don't trust you.
You don't have to. You always know where I am.
So, as I start to walk,
Brian, you mean?
as I start to follow Olan up to the entrance to the, I start to follow Olan up to the entrance of the yawning portal, and I look back for just a second, and I make a little pantomime of like crying a tear and blow a kiss at Misty, and I say,
I'm sorry, my dear. Is there anything you'd like to go? And I'll bring it back for you. An ale, a side of steak, maybe a morning sandwich.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, well, I'll make it quick. We'll go get that namby-pamby Rainier, and hopefully we can avoid his stupid friend, Balloon Blagomar. Olan, can you really talk the talk this time? Play up the whole, I'm a royal, I'm a noble, I'm part of the Reese family. Maybe flex a little muscle there with your money and your family name. Get that Rainier all worked up and excited. Let him know we found his daddy's fancy Nancy place.
Okay, I can do that. All right.
All right, let's go. I'll follow your lead.
Tokens in here.
If Lester's gonna stay outside with me, just real quick, I'm just gonna let Lester know that about the fact that I leave the tavern every night, but I always come back.
So where do you go?
I've got places, but I always come back in the morning, and you can always find me.
Okay. I can deal with that. To stay out of trouble.
So the two of you walk in, Giacomo and Olan, and again, people are littered all across the bar, moving about and getting drinks from why is it doing this?
What's it doing?
It's my damn token thing. There we go. So like you walk in, and immediately you're hit with the two most familiar faces. One is Bonnie, who walks up to you and goes, "Hi, my boys. How you been? It's good seeing you. Do you want any drinks? Do you want a table? I've got a nice table right over here." She points to this table, and it's got a bit of food on it, left over and stale, and some empty flagons of ale, and just two chairs for two people. She says, "I can take you right there if you would like." And Maloon, this blonde-haired man wearing like plate mail, looks back over at y'all, and he mumbles something. It's like his mouth is trying to say something, and he just watches you from afar. What do you guys say to Bonnie? Do you guys want a table? Or do you guys, just want to stick to business?
Hey, Bonnie. I want to know, is Floon and or Rainier in today?
Anything you want to say, Giacomo?
Yeah, when Olan asked Bonnie about Floon and Rainier, Giacomo would lean over and cup his hand to Olan's ear, and he would say, "No, I know you do, but they're definitely here. So, it's find a place where we can talk to them and sit,
Fair
away
enough.
from all these bumbling fools."
Are we still allowed on the second floor?
Well, yes,
Talk to
everybody's welcome on the second floor. It's just it's not very easy to bring people's food up there. You might just do a little better down here. But nonetheless, if you want up there, I mean, I can run it to you. And she kind of looks a little frustrated because she's like motioning to the bottom.
Bonnie. I would tell Bonnie, it's like, we're probably not going to get too many drinks or food today, but if the upstairs is open, if you could just point us in the direction of Floon or Rainier, I know they're here.
Oh, yeah, they're right over there. And she literally like points to where he is, all the way over here at this table.
Okay, I give Bonnie 2 gold. I will take that out of my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I give her 2 gold, and I tell her, "Thank you so much, Bonnie. You're always a pleasure to be around. Anytime I come into a yawning pool."
She smiles at you, and she politely takes the coins, and she puts them in her back pocket, and she nods at you, and she just kind of goes over to Maloon War Dragon, and brings him his ale, and he like kind of not even really smiling or anything. He just kind of like mumbling. He like pulls up some coins and he gives it to Bonnie, and she says, "Oh, mighty fine big tipper." And he doesn't even nod, and he like looks down at this like big war axe, and he's like, no, this one's for me, not for you. Ah, stupid axe. And both of y'all kind of like walk by him like he's crazy.
I stop what I'm doing for just a second and say, and I'll say to him, "Look, man, you gotta feed your axe too. Okay, you can't do any good for you on an empty stomach." And I keep on going.
He says to you, axes don't need to eat. They just need to shut up and swing when told to, or made to. And then you see him like mumbling some words underneath his mouth. Like he's just frustrated even more that somebody would even comment on the axe in him. But yeah, you guys make it past him, and y'all make it all the way over to Rainier. Sorry, give me a second. And you're at the table, and the first person to notice you is actually Floon Blagmar himself. And he sees y'all approaching from kind of like the left side of where the barrier is. And he sees y'all coming up and he goes, "Oh, these are the gentlemen I was talking about, my lovelies. This one is Olon, my dearest and best friend, besides you, Rainier, of course. And then this is Giacomo Clapel. Giacomo Clapan. He is an amazing bard, might I add. His voice is like the angels of the sea." And the girls start laughing, and they like look over at the two of you, and they see how Olon is dressed, and one of them immediately like kind of like snickers like a little bit, and the other one just like is like fixated on Giacomo. And she just giggles at like your attire, and Floon's like, "Rainier, slide over. We've got guests." And Rainier looks over and sees you two, and he's like, "Oh, my friends, come sit."
I'll go in.
After you, Olan, sir.
Yeah, slide into this front seat right there. Excuse the
So he slides into the bar seat. And then I sit down and like really just awkwardly and obnoxiously manspread. And like start taking up as much of that side of the booth as I possibly can. And
That's great.
I stretch my arm out and I put it over Olan's shoulder and lean back. I lean back into to the back of the booth seat and take in a big deep breath and sigh, and I say,
Oh, life has been so boring lately, boys. You would believe all of the terribly boring
terribly
things we've been up
boring
to.
things.
No, I don't. I just can't. I simply cannot explain.
I
know,
think
Olan, they don't want to hear about our stories, Olan.
As you say this, right, Floon's like, "What? No. Tell us everything. Girls, lean in with me." And like the two of them like lean in, like they're just completely infatuated with the conversation. And he just like leans across the table. He's like, "You gotta spill it to me. I need to know the good stuff. All the good stuff. What kind of drama have you been getting into?"
Ready for all the good stuff. I don't know if they're ready for all the good stuff, Giacomo.
so
I don't think so either. Olan, Mr. Olan, well, I suppose you could think it right. You know what, with Rainier here, and God
Rainier
rest his
sits
soul,
back
the
and
namesake of
he
the great Lord
hears that you're,
Neverember.
throwing out
He gets-
Neverember, and you're throwing his name out, and he just kind of looks like at both of you like, "Have y'all forgotten I'm right here?" Like, kind of that attitude.
and I say to Olan, I say,
I do think it's
It's
good
only
that we
fair.
should share a
We're all
recent
amongst
discovery
friends now,
with
aren't we?
them. I think it's yes, of course. Well, go ahead and weave the tale, because of course, boys. I don't know if you know this, but Mr. Olan, he's definitely more than he seems. He's not just normal, you see. He's a very powerful source. Well, I'll let him take over. Spare me and spare you my silliness. He
So,
really knows how to paint a picture and
as I
give
put
it
my
a
hands
good
on the table,
story.
I want you all to imagine a journey into the city of the dead. There we were. All our troublesome group traveling deep into the bowels of danger itself.
You
Then
said
we
it
came
last, I don't know,
upon
buddy.
this crypt.
You came upon a crypt?
Crypt! And upon this crypt there were these trees, these mighty redwood trees, as tall as almost touching the horizon of the skies themselves.
Yes, he's right.
As you say this, like Floon immediately scoffs and he's like, "Come on, man! I've been to the city of the dead. There's no trees that tall. Tell me the good stuff."
Well, the trees themselves, they came alive, you see, Floon. Came alive themselves and told us.
That's total. That's not true.
Have
And
you
give me an insight check.
insight check?
Yeah, because he's like totally like, no, they're not.
So when
And then Rainier beside you is just like quiet as a mouse.
So when Floon Blagamar disbelieves Olan about the trees coming to life, Giacomo would reach behind his back and he would pull out his like item from his thieves' tool kit, the little mirror on a stick, and I would like reach over top of the table and like start poking at or scratching at Floon Blagamar as he's like leaned over intently listening to Olan, and I would say,
Yes, why, it was just like that. We walked by and some of the twigs even pricked our skin and ran their branches along their necks.
Are you kidding me? There's trees like that in the city of the dead? I didn't know. I mean, y'all must have gone to a completely different spot than where I've been.
Oh, well,
but
don't you
I can't believe it.
Don't you
The
feel
whole
it?
time, Rainier's sitting there with his arms crossed, he's listening.
I got a 19 on an insight check.
Yeah. So Rainier, he seems to be like looking at the two of you with like, he's like, yes, and like that sounds very familiar to me. What are you trying to get at? It seems like slightly confused and annoyed.
Oh, we came to...
Floon is like 100% invested in this story, and the two girls are like, "Wait, what? There's a what?" Like one of them has never, like, clearly has never been to the city of the dead, where the other one is like, she's like, "Whoa, I didn't know that there was trees that tall." Like, just completely like buying into the story, but not like fully invested. You know what I mean?
Can I possibly make a performance check for this story?
Okay, here we go. How loud do you want to be, and how showy are you trying to go?
I'm trying to be Giacomo levels of this.
and I'm gonna. So when Olan starts to weave his tale, Giacomo will quiet accompany him on his lute, and he will basically be like a hype man in a rap concert. And I'm gonna like anything that Olan starts to say, Giacomo will like sing a little song about it, and I'm giving him bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh god! People laugh so hard I got a cramp.
Well, we got to see how this all shakes down.
Online.
I got a cramp. Ow, god!
Oh, I thought you said you had a crap. I was like, dude.
I got a cramp. Ow. Okay. So that is going to be a 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Nice.
21? Okay.
Ow. I'm on my performance check.
1 second.
I'm just laying it on thick. Go back to the story about the trees as tall as the horizon that go into, but we were at an impasse. Impasse, you see, Floon. For you see, we could not get past the trees. They wouldn't let us by. Without the blood. A never ember.
And they like Floon immediately looks at Rainier and goes, "Wait, you're a part of their story too?" And like Rainier immediately like puts his hand on his forehead and it's just like he's like, "Oh my god, Floon."
Yes, yes,
The-
Floon, he is a part of our story too. For without him, we cannot continue. For he is a final member of our group, destined to be.
And the two girls look over at Rainier and Floon looks over at Rainier and they're like, like this dramatic moment for them is just it's completely eye-opening. They like, it was like Darth Vader telling Luke that I'm your father moment for them, and they'd never seen this spin on the story coming. And Rainier is just sitting there with his hand on his forehead and he puts his hand out and he says, please stop right there. Floon, my good friend, my dear friend, and ladies, I need to speak to these gentlemen, for a short bit. Um, let's just say we have something to discuss.
How long has this been going on?
Like 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because we did
so-
tell Misty we were gonna be quick about it.
Yeah, they're in there for a while. They're in there for a while. So Rainier,
Come in the bar.
he says,
Oh, I am.
Wait, wouldn't
Pardon me
wouldn't
for-
Misty still look like Rainier Neverember?
no,
No, I dropped that.
Yeah, and it only lasts for like I think an hour.
Yeah.
We're traveling for an hour,
Yeah.
or like a minute. Or, I can't remember the length.
Okay,
It's an hour.
sorry.
Okay, so the travel to this place was an hour in length.
Yeah, no, I dropped it anyway as soon as I knew it wasn't going to work.
Gotcha.
So Rainier excuses the two of you and himself from the table, and he proceeds to motion to all of you to kind of go upstairs. And there you go upstairs to the balcony and overlooking the first floor, and he kind of leans with his back up against the railing, and he looks at Olan, and he looks at you, Giacomo, but then back at Olan, and he says, "So you went to my family's crypt?"
Well, it wasn't.
I look at Olan and look back over before I even open my mouth.
I look over at you. I'm like, yeah, just yeah. Do it.
Why would you go and see my grandfather's grave?
Well,
Why would you look for where my mother is buried?
well, please, if you could grant us a little bit of liberty, I'd ask ahead of time for your restraint and maybe not being so mad when we tell you why we went there.
Look,
If it's okay.
I'm not mad. I mean,
You might be.
the
Can you
thing is,
can you promise? Put a pinky out.
what? Okay, and he
Now.
humors you, and he puts his pinky forward, and he says,
So,
"Look,
as-
I'm sure you
as
have
we
your
pinky
reasons.
swear, as we
Just
pinky
please
swear,
explain."
I kiss my pinky as it's like entwined with his pinky, and I said,
Good. Now it's been sealed with a kiss. Now listen. It's just as my friend Bolan said. Yes, we went to the family tour, and well, there were the trees, and they wouldn't let us enter without the Lord of
No.
Never Ember.
Yes, they require the lineage of the Branneth family tree.
Well, we went there for the treasure.
You went to my mother's. That's odd. Why do you believe it to be there?
I
I mean, I've
can't
been there I mean, I'd say almost 100 times, and I've never seen any way to find this vault. I mean, I wouldn't even really look for anything there. I mean, are you sure it was? This just doesn't make any sense.
Well, look, I know you probably won't believe me, and I can't really explain how I know, but I just know, okay? I had a vision of sorts, if you will, and that vision brought me there. There's something strange in the crypt. It's like a tomb, a brand new one.
I mean, I can assure you there are no new tombs within side of that crypt. That crypt is over 200 years old.
Yes,
It
yes, but
literally
when
has
did
my
you go
family's
last?
history.
When did you go inside it last?
Well, before winter's beginning, before Hammer the First.
Okay, well, and counting back a couple of months, days, weeks from that, give or take one or two, and then adding back in, of course, the day and time when your daddy disappeared, how does that all stack up? Would
That
you
was
say,
years ago.
years ago? Well,
My father's been out of Waterdeep's for quite a few years now.
yes, but then everybody started finding out about this treasure this year, and that's why the city's going crazy with all the new people
No.
trying to find it.
No, everybody's known about this treasure for quite some time. My father was forced to flee. Again, how do you know all of this? I mean, not too long ago you were looking for the stone, and now you've got to have it. Especially if you're looking for the crypt. Do you possess the stone of Galore?
We cannot confirm nor deny that statement.
Can
Can
I see it?
Well, I mean, go ahead, Wes. I'm sorry.
I say it's been too long. I'm gonna walk inside the door.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow him in.
All right, let me drop your tokens in.
So I'd be like wringing my hands nervously because Olan just was like, we can't confirm or deny. And Giacomo like is a big mouth, and I'm trying to keep myself together because I don't necessarily know if I trust Rainier, even though he's always been a pretty good benefactor to us. But my big worry isn't necessarily him. It's that like if we start talking about the stone, that it's going to bring back the crazy guy with the golden hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking around frantically, like trying to keep my shit together. And then I look back at Olan and I lock eyes with him, and I'm trying to communicate like non-verbally, basically like a follow my lead.
Mm-hmm.
And so I look at Rainier and I say,
Rainier, you've always been a pretty straight shooter, okay? And I promise you that under different circumstances, and maybe not right now, but shortly after, I'll come completely clean with you, okay? But for now, you're just going to have to trust us. Yes, trust us that there's something going on with this treasure and your mommy's tomb.
Look, it's not that I don't trust you. I've trusted you for quite some time, Giacomo. I mean, I honestly consider you to be one of the good guys, and honestly, one of my friends.
when he says friends to Giacomo, I completely lose it. And I immediately spill my guts.
Like you tell him everything.
Yeah, like as soon as he calls me a friend and says that I'm a good guy, Giacomo like gets this big Cheshire grin, like ear to ear smile. His eyes light up and sparkle, and he puts his hands in his chin in his hands, and he leans over on the table and he says,
Well, then of course, Mr. Rainier, I suppose it's just, it's your birthday, you see, because, well, Mr. Olan and I and our friends, we've done you a real big solid, and we found that stone. Yes, we did. Of course we did. We found the stone. Yes, I have it. I definitely have the stone. In fact, and we definitely know where the treasure is. In fact, And it's
wow.
somewhere in that tomb. Yes, we do know these things, of course.
Well, I mean, that's crazy. Like again, I'm sorry, but I've always wondered what it looked like.
I'd
If
like
you don't
to.
want to show me, it's okay. If you don't have it here, that's fine. I trust you.
Can I make an insight
Yeah,
check?
yeah.
I'd like to go up to Bonnie and ask where Giacomo and Olan are.
So you go up to Bonnie and she points over to an empty table.
Did they package
And
the
she's like,
wrong
"Oh, they were
size in there?
just over there."
Can I assume they went upstairs? If they
Yeah.
were talking to
Well,
Rainier.
roll me a perception check. Like you're gonna scan the room. You're gonna be looking for people. You know what I mean? Like heads.
Yeah. I mean, if they were talking to Rainier too, I know his table's
Big time
upstairs
short,
normally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm in 18.
Okay. So the 18. Yeah, you you look around and you don't see him. Well, them on the first floor. You look up on the second floor, and that's when you actually see it. They are leaning up against a rail and talking to Rainier. Kind of like over in like this area, overlooking
Mm-hmm.
the giant portal, the hole. So what are you gonna do now that you see them up there?
I'm gonna say, Lester, you can come with me or not, but I'm gonna go right over there. We'll just put me here, and I'll go right up to the conversation.
Okay, so you go up. So would
I'll tag along.
all right. So you go with him. So you two kind of like show up at the top of the steps. Rainier's kind of got his back leaning up against the rail. Giacomo's talking to him intently. Olan's sitting there nodding. And you two walk up and you come into like the last bit of the conversation when Giacomo is talking about how there was this evil cult of the Bane, clerics of the Bane, and they were performing a magical ritual, and you had obtained the stone of galore from them after you took care of them. Wink, wink. And then after that, you encountered a hooded man with a golden gauntlet that was able to use magic beyond those capable of simple folk. This was far advanced magic for anyone, but maybe like uh, um, Jalaster Silvermane. Um, there's the black staff. Like this was magic that somebody like as powerful as the black staff would be wielding. Um,
Okay, that makes it. I was gonna be my next question.
mhm. What if this person that you were fighting was as powerful as Blackstaff?
Yes. Like, what could
Yeah.
I like have? Like, what would be as comparable to that type of magic? And you saying that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Like
Now,
basically like the things that you saw were whoever this one individual was, they alone were able to take on five or six of y'all single-handedly and win by themselves. Like they literally reduced all of you except for one of you to unconsciousness. And the only reason why you're not dead at this moment was because of the fact that within mere seconds, the City Watch flooded the street to save your lives. And as quickly as the City Watch showed up, the hooded figure was gone as quickly as he came.
I'll I'll just say, hey, Rainier, can you just, I don't know what they've told you, but can you just come with us for, I mean, like an hour?
Rainier would look at you and he would say, for all of you, I have no problem coming with you. This isn't messy business, is it?
No, we just need entrance into the tomb.
All right. Let me go talk to Floon and settle a bet. He said that Bonnie would end up tripping and falling, and as he says that, you see Bonnie stumble down on the first floor, and she trips and falls and spills a beer on the guy. And Floon immediately stands up and goes, "Yes!" And the two girls start laughing, and a bunch of people start laughing, and the guy gets mad and stands up and walks out completely embarrassed. And Bonnie's like, "No, sir, wait, I've got a." And she seems kind of like saddened by the reaction that had it fallen. And Rainier kind of looks at you and goes, "It looks like I owe that son of a gun 10 gold.
When
Just paid for him and his girls' drinks
when
again."
when Giacomo would see Floon react and laugh at Bonnie falling, Giacomo.
It wasn't like laughing at. So he wasn't laughing. He was cheering because he's like, "Yes, I got 10 gold." You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean either way, that's fine. Giacomo, I'm gonna spend a spell slot and cast Unseen Servant.
Okay.
And I will lean over off to my side in the direction of Lesra as though I'm kind of speaking to her. But you see me look down, shorter than Lesra, and I say, "Charlie boy, I think you know what I'm thinking." And I communicate
It
telepathic.
shakes its head left and right.
And so when Charlie shakes his head at me like he doesn't know what I'm talking about, mentally I send the command to Charlie to go push Floon Blagamar while he's taking a sip of his beer and make the beer spill all over him.
Okay. So like
So as Giacomo does this, Leslo glares at him.
Well, I'm speaking psychically. I'm speaking psychically.
it's mentally.
No, but
He's not saying it out loud.
She saw you cast the spell.
Yeah.
That is true.
Well, I didn't cast a spell on anyone. I can use magic in public. I just...
Yeah, you can publicly use magic. You just
But you're about to.
Unfortunately, like here. How about this? Giacomo, roll me a sleight of hand check.
All right.
Lyra.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop him.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You can
Then don't
do
worry
it.
about it.
I just glare at him.
Okay. Well, then, if I notice you glaring at me, I would look up after looking down at Charlie to talk to him mentally, and I would look up at Lesra and I'd say, I would giggle and say, "You're going to want to watch this." And so I guess Charlie would go over and find Floon and bump into him so he spills his beer all over himself.
All right. So you send this unseen servant off to go do your heinous crime, so to speak. But you all kind of collect yourself and you start heading out the door. And as you do, you all accompany Rainier back to the table, where when Rainier starts to head back to the table, Floon quickly hustles over and he actually sits down. So y'all are coming down this way. Like this. And Rainier comes down first. And Floon shows one of his little female girlfriends a seat, and then he sits down, and then he motions for the girl to sit down, and Giacomo can see that the invisible, unseen servant slides up right behind Rainier, and he's just patiently waiting to push him. And
Floon.
Floon,
Yeah.
not Rainier, Floon.
It's all good.
And Rainier walks up to the table and says, "My dear Floon, it seems like I'm going to have to owe you one." And Rainier goes, "Oh," and he looks over at the two girls. He goes, "Ladies, the drinks are on me." And they start to laugh. And as he says "me," he puts the drink up to his mouth, and the unseen servant shoves him, and the beer splashes all over him. And he goes, "That was my last beer." And the girls go, "Oh, Floon, my sweetie," and they pick up like handkerchiefs and just start to dab on him, and he's like, "My ascot, my favorite ascot. I'm such a dummy." And they're like, "Oh, you're not dumb, sweetheart. You're not dumb at all." And they're like just tapping his chin, getting the beer in it out of his facial hair, and kind of dabbing his chest. And you see one of them kind of like rubbing his chest, like, "Oh, they're there. And he's like, "It looks like we're gonna need another one." And they start to like giggle and laugh, and he raises his mug up, and Rainier kind of motions to Bonnie. Bonnie, being so sweet and so kind, she comes over and immediately takes everybody's orders and darts off, and she looks at all of you. And you all start to make your way out of the yawning portal with Rainier now. And so who's going out in what order? Like Rainier's going first. Like he's like, "All right, we're going to my crypt, whatever."
I'll go right behind Rainier.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Following right behind Giacomo.
So me and Olan are hanging toward the back, and
Okay.
I like nudge Olan and I say, "Man, it looks like your storytelling and our plan worked. This is awesome."
Got it all from you, buddy.
No.
All from you.
No. We were a great team. I think Misty would be proud of us. Even though she did look a little impatient there toward the end. We got her. We really got her. And we're gonna get inside that damn crypt this time.
So as
You think it was you all that got up to go?
Yeah, we're quite proud of ourselves.
you didn't do anything. Give me 1 second. So as you guys are kind of like heading out the door, Floon stares at Maloon War Dragon and instantly like nods at him, and Maloon kind of just staring off, kind of in a hazy distance. Rainier says, "That Maloon, he is quite the fella. He's done a lot of helpful work for this city. If you ever need a hand with something, I'm sure Maloon will be willing to help you out." And he walks by him and he pats him on the shoulder, and Maloon kind of like jarringly rocks back and forth and kind of like stops taking a sip off of his ale and just looks up at you all. And he says, "Heroes, am I right? Maybe one day you'll join Force Grey. And maybe on that day, I'll buy you an ale." And as he says that, he finishes saying it, and you notice that his eyes kind of go like a bit of a haze, and he goes back to drinking his beer, and he starts to mumble again, and he looks down at the axe, and he says to the axe, "Quit your yammering. No. Yes." And you just walk right by him. Like, this dude is either 10 times crazy, or he's just got like all of his eggs in a crushed basket.
Can I make an arcane check?
Yeah.
I'll make an arcade check on this axe. I just gotta know. It's bugging me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. That's going to be a 17.
17.
Mhm.
Okay, give me 1 second. Because you're trying to ask specific information about this weapon.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, instantly, you can see that there is some kind of resonated shine, like it's unnatural. Um, this axe sits beside him, and it's a double-bladed great axe. Um, and it has kind of like this um little lasso at the bottom, this like tang of leather that kind of goes through it. And when you look at the blade, the handle appears to be of like old like make, and the style of blade is that of like almost dwarven nature. Um, you would recognize this to be a fabled war axe, a double-bladed great axe named Azur. It's hard to say this. Azurdedge or Azuredged. Um, a powerful.
It's Azure Edged. Azure is a type
Yeah,
of stone.
as
Azure.
Azure Edged.
Yeah,
Azure Edged. A powerful relic forged by uh Hagarian himself. I don't know that name. Um, for Waterdeep's personal defense. So this weapon was forged long ago, and it has somehow over the years retained its magical essence and developed a personality. Um, and this weapon is trusted and loyal to only one person. And at this current moment, that person is Maloon War Dragon.
Okay. Uh, before I walk out, how much do you have a bar tab?
Do you say that to
Say
Maloon?
that to the dude. Yeah, say that to Maloon. Do you have a bar tab?
He looks at you, and like the rest of the party kind of files out, right? And
Mm-hmm.
as he looks at you, uh, as quickly as you would imagine, his hand reaches out and grabs onto you, and he says, "If you need any help, let me know."
Mm.
And he lets go, and then slowly turns and looks at the axe, says, "No, only if they need it. Rumor is they found something. I don't know. Maybe they might need my help. I don't know."
I
Yes.
uh, I shake his hand. Say,
He's
look.
unflinching, unmoving. Like it's like he literally turns around, hears what you have to say, reaches out to you and grabs you to pull you in close, says these things to you, and then drops your, drops his focus from you to the axe and starts
Back to the
talking to
app.
the axe. Yeah, like
Okay.
as if like you're not there anymore.
Okay. I go out with the rest of the group, and
Hmm.
I'm like, that dude is crazy.
So you say that, and
I say that as quietly as I possibly can to
yeah.
Giacomo.
Yeah, but like Rainier hears you, and he's like, "Yeah, he's crazy, but he's one fucking hell of a fighter."
No, no. Let's get to where we need to go. Okay? Do we need? We don't need him, right?
No,
Right?
we don't need him. So you guys
Cool. We got you.
travel back to the mausoleum. I guess you take a carriage.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subtract a total of 3 more gold, please.
Am I paying for this one this time?
Yep.
Damn it!
Well, you or someone else.
I'm not. It has to be me. I have the most money right now.
Do you?
I mean, technically, I have some. I have gold and I have gems and I have some other shit. You said 3 gold, DM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
So the party returns back to this rather large crypt, and he says to all of you, "Here, let me go first." And he approaches, and he starts to make his way down the steps. And as he makes his way down the steps, he turns and looks over to his right at the tree, and he says, "I have guests. Please treat them with respect and allow them to pass." And the tree says, "As long as the Brenneth family approves, I approve for today." And he says, "Thank you." And you all go up to the front door. Um, the door is locked. Rainier pulls out a small key from his pocket, and he slides it into the door. And he unlocks the wooden frame, and he slowly starts to walk inside. Um, Give me a second. Um, Let me remove some fog. And there you are. And you are able to now walk in. Rainier walks over to about here. And he goes over to a
That's his mommy.
mm-hmm. He goes over to a crypt, and he kisses his hand, and he says a prayer, and he places his hand on his mother's feet. It's a basically they placed the body, and then they did a solid cast of the mother on top, and then placed the large slab of stone on top of a almost like a another large slab of stone, kind of elevating her off the ground. And then he walks down and he points over and he says, "That's where my father's supposed to be buried, but he'll never be welcome in this town again, unfortunately. My mother would be ashamed. What can a son do, though? Nothing. So I guess either I'll be buried there, or I'll be buried here in one of these crypts. I myself have never been deeper into the crypts. It's frowned upon. Um, we keep the gates closed so the clerics of the dead do not disturb my mother and my family's resting place. Um, Feel free to take a look around. Just please respect the dead." What are you guys gonna do now?
Tommy, do you have your phone on you?
I do. I think it died though. It died.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to message you. I was just gonna say, go ahead.
Good stopping point.
Yeah,
Okay. You want to stop right here?
It's yeah.
yeah, it's 10:42. Let's go ahead
Yeah,
and
okay.
leave. Let's go ahead and leave this as our cliffhanger now that we're in the tomb.
That's perfect stopping point then. Okay. Well, okay. I was rearing and gearing ready to go, but we really need to start getting like a order of things. I think it's safe for us to do a hard stop at, you want to say like 10:30 from here on out.
Yeah, that works for me.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, just a good stopping point. But yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
between 10:30 and 11, whenever we hit.
Yeah.
like,
This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you see, 4 large, bowls that have fire coming out of them, and there's 4 crypts here, and this beautiful stained glass mural in the back of his mother, and 2 regular panes of glass with light pouring down, and it's almost like kind of like beautifully backlighting Rainier Never Ember. And we'll go ahead and close with that, and we will hopefully see everybody next Monday for this rendition of Waterdeep's Dragonheist. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again on Monday. Does anybody else have any announcements or anything of that nature that they wish to speak about before we give a hard stop and a hard wrap to this?
The only thing I was going to say is welcome to our new viewers that came and stuck around. Looks like we had a guy in the stream gal named Relaxian. So we appreciate the, checking us out. And stay tuned. We got some information coming up and some eligibility details to qualify for our giveaway for the set of Wormwood dice. So keep watching our streams Monday and Thursday. And we are taking note of who tunes in, and we will be announcing the winner soon.
And we will officially, this Wednesday, be starting our Vampires of the Masquerade game.